What's up, everyone? Welcome to Benched. We are the Tovar Brothers. Monday, September 11, 2023, episode number 25. Great number 25s. Go.
Reggie Bush, Chris Harris Jr.
LaShawn McCoy.
Oh, Shady's cool.
Yeah. I think of the Packers guy. Who's the Packers running back?
Ryan Grant.
No. Dorsey?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Vaguely remember that.
Oh, Ryan Grant was 25.
Right?
Yeah. Andrew Jones, center fielder for the Atlanta Braves.
I would have no idea if you're right or wrong. I'll believe you, though. Sounds right.
I was a big fan of his growing up.
Clearly. Yeah.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Benched, and I hope you enjoyed week one, because we certainly did.
Freaking awesome, the football back.
Yeah, week one was awesome. Some unfortunate injuries. Actually, a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
Which sucks. I guess there's not a fortunate injury. They're all kind of unfortunate.
A lot of hammies.
A lot of hammies. Maybe something to do with
Not playing too
not playing
much.
preseason.
Yeah, who
That's
knows?
always the thing, man.
We'll never know, really.
There's no perfect science.
Because if they play 4 games and then they get hurt, it's the same thing.
Health isn't science. It's magic.
It's magic and wizardry.
Yeah. Anyway, on this episode, we'll catch up on all the news over the weekend and in and through week one, except for one game, obviously, tonight. And the injuries, we said that. And then we'll recap the full slate of games that we got to enjoy yesterday and even starting Thursday. Good time. Before we get into that, let's thank the YouTube supporters, people watching the show right now, people listening to the show on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. You guys have been awesome, and super pumped to get into the season with all of you.
Truly have been awesome, though.
Yeah, you guys have been great. Follow the show between the show on Instagram, X, and TikTok. Search at Benched Show, right?
Yep.
Yeah, at Benched Show. Gosh, I should know that. And there's a lot going up, man.
Yeah.
We were on it today. We put up
there
a
was
lot of stuff.
So much highlights. Cause
Yeah, clips, reaction,
so much, yeah.
news. We try to hit it all. So make sure you're following those social media platforms to keep up with everything going on, because we want you to just say, hey, wonder what's going on. Let me open up my phone and check at Benched Show.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
That's cool.
caught up. Only took one poop.
Yeah.
One poop and you're caught up.
Sorry.
That was you. Who's texting you, man? That a girl?
Sorry. No, it's my brother. My other brother. You're not my only brother.
They know we're filming.
Maybe.
They know. They're doing it on purpose.
Yep.
How's your weekend? How did you enjoy the games? What's up?
Man, I woke up at like 7:30.
I had a hard time sleeping.
Yeah, I woke up. No, I was up like throughout the night, just checking my fantasy team, checking the, you know how that comes out, the injury stuff comes out middle of the night. Like,
Okay. How does that happen? I was up legitimately at 3 o'clock in the morning, and they're literally tweeting. So
they've talked about this before.
what? Tell me.
Pat McAfee, who was the guy that had it?
I have no idea.
Rappaport.
Yeah.
They say that they have tweets. They find out Saturday. And they write them out and they schedule them for throughout the night.
Why?
That's just how they do it, to keep you engaged all night, keep fans like us up, looking at, is Jerry Jeudy playing?
That's literally the tweet I got at like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
That Jerry Jeudy wasn't going to play.
Yeah, bummer.
Could
Could have used them.
Yeah, so many things. But anyway, yeah, I had a hard time sleeping as well.
But you woke up and I got my iPad out,
Yep.
checked all my fantasy teams, checked the injury reports,
Dragged my family to church very early in the morning.
God knows.
And, yeah, good times through week one. We'll talk about it all here in a second. First, let's get into the news. I like that.
It gets a little calm at the end.
The news is brought to you by 818 Brewing. If you're in the LA area, we have the perfect spot for you and your crew to catch the next game. 818 Brewing has the perfect tasting room to get together with your buddies, grab a drink, and enjoy the game. Their selection of beer includes something for everyone. That's true.
True.
Literally true.
We don't drink the same beer, and we had each of what
I
we
really enjoyed the IPA. You enjoyed the blonde.
Yeah, House Blonde.
Something for everyone, and it's all brewed on site. That's cool. And it really is. We've seen it. We've seen their brewing room. It's awesome. It's quite the operation. Stop by 818 Brewing at 8953 DeSoto Ave in Canoga Park, and we will see you there. Okay, so a lot of news. Let's get into it here because I want to make sure we have plenty of time for these games.
Yep.
Did you know that Lions-Chiefs game, there was so much hype? The NFL's doing well.
Yeah, probably.
NFL's doing real well.
Yeah.
Business is booming,
I'd say so.
as the great philosopher Antonio Brown said.
Yep, this is booming.
The Lions and Chiefs season opener on NBC was the most watched show since the Super Bowl. So
It's a lot. I mean,
it averaged nearly 27 million viewers. Football is truly king.
it's the king. I mean, basketball has its moments. Baseball has October. NFL has week 1 through the Super Bowl.
And
Literally.
yet no one topped the Super Bowl until the NFL came back.
Week 1.
And then the NFL topped itself.
Yeah.
NFL's king. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And there was just a lot of hype going into that game. That was just a fun game.
Fun game.
You got the Chiefs. Everyone's excited about the Lions. And Jahmyr Gibbs, all that. That did not disappoint. We reviewed that game already. Check out our Friday episode if you want to see that. In that game, a young man that we were both impressed by was quarterback Jared Goff. And did you know Jared Goff is closing in on the NFL record for consecutive passes without an interception?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Did you know that?
Didn't know that. I read that in a tweet, not right now, but I think a day ago or whatever. Wow, that's pretty good for him.
Goff has thrown 359 consecutive passes without an interception, which is the third most in NFL history. His last interception came in Week 9 of last season, closing in on the number 2 spot, which is Mr. Tom Brady.
And it's not like it's a boring offense. It's one of the most top 10 offenses.
Oh,
in the
yeah,
league,
he's dropping back quite a bit. So
it's not like they're just dumping it off
that's
screens.
awesome.
Yeah. So
man, I feel like we're missing it on Jared Goff. I feel like I've had awakening this year.
we're overlooking Jared Goff. Maybe we are.
We got caught up with Geno Smith, and Jared Goff's like, I'm doing the same thing, better.
With less weapons, to be honest.
I thought that was cool. Let's get into some injuries here. I know it sucks, but we got to do it. Cooper Kupp was put on the injured reserve, so he'll miss 4 games?
Minimum 4 games.
Minimum 4 games with that hamstring injury after seeing the body specialist. I'm not gonna do that joke again.
He's tired. I took her out.
Yeah. So he'll be on injured reserve. Puka Nacua. Did you see that?
Yeah. I can't even say his name yet, but yeah, I saw that.
Puka Nacua.
It's called season a opportunity, man.
Like 9 catches, 100-some yards.
I think it was 10 catches or something.
10? Jeez, good for you, bud.
He went off.
If you don't know this, that is the rookie, I believe, from Penn State, who's on the Rams, filled in for Cooper Kupp admirably today as they won. They beat the Seahawks. Anyway, moving on here. This one is just a punch to the nuts for not only fantasy owners, but just everyone who's a fan of football and likes to see these guys do well. The Ravens running back, J.K. Dobbins, began the season. I think he scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
It was looking good.
A diving one, like over somebody.
Yeah, looking athletic, looking good, looking spry.
Yep.
A lot of hype around this Ravens team.
Yep.
But it's feared that he has suffered a torn Achilles, per Ian Rappaport, early in that game. And obviously, I think it was confirmed, actually, later on, just a little while after. And I think he's done for the season. Yeah. And he's done for a while.
What a bummer. His career has gotten off to probably the worst. He played a little in rookie season, right? He played a little bit.
Yeah, but he looked good. He was a year after Zeke, right? He was like the next guy because he's from Ohio State.
I don't think it was a year after Zeke. There was a couple of years between them.
Really?
Yeah.
I just remember him as the next big back after Zeke.
Ohio State. He had a lot of hype coming out of there too. Yeah, and then to have this injury and then he's had his ACL with ligaments torn. It's just
a brutal ACL injury, like everything torn.
Yeah,
and then
it took him like almost 2 years or a year and a half to get back from.
Yeah, it was also really. It just looked bad last year.
Yeah.
Couldn't really open up. Couldn't reach full speed. Explosion wasn't there. And then he comes back this year, and we're still hoping for the best. Yeah. And
I mean,
blows out his Achilles.
You just feel for the guy. Yeah. Hopefully you get better soon and stay in the NFL because sometimes like this will just make this guy like I don't want to play in the NFL anymore. Hopefully he comes back.
There'll probably be more corresponding moves, but with that Ravens backfield, I did see that they're going to activate Melvin Gordon. So it'll be Melvin Gordon, Justice Hill, a little bit of Gus Edwards. So fantasy-wise, you don't want it. Football-wise, it's a real blow to them because none of those guys are J.K. Dobbins.
No, see if Kareem Hunt's still available or
just add him to the pack. Kind of exactly what they did last year.
Yeah, it sucks because they want to avoid this.
Yeah,
but they probably should have drafted somebody.
They should have.
Yeah.
More bad news here with the Cleveland Browns. It appears that tackle Jack Conklin has suffered a season-ending injury, but is still going to have some tests done. I'm not sure if they've confirmed that or not. Either way, they are somewhat prepared for this with rookie DeJuan Jones,
big rookie,
the massive man DeJuan Jones, who has the feet of a ballerina. Have you seen him play? I love this guy.
He looks significantly bigger than other players who are in the NFL.
He's just a mountain of a man, but he can move, man. I like him. He's going to be a good tackle.
Yeah, that's just their luck. They drafted a guy who plays right tackle and is actually pretty good.
Right. Also from Ohio State, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big, yeah.
Man, they have DeJuan Jones, and they have the guy who went to Arizona. What's his name? Johnson. Paris Johnson.
Yeah.
So, yeah, DeJuan Jones probably stepping in there, but Jack Conklin, long time, just force at the tackle position.
No,
That's a tackle set.
Oh, that's what that was?
Yeah. I'm sitting, so it can't really. But, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get anything? Did it confirm?
No, it just there's no exact is left MCL possible ACL. So the ACL is probably what they were thinking of.
Yeah. Ravens, I think they got a victory, but it came at quite the price. They also lost starting safety Marcus Williams. He tore his pec, so he'll be out for the year as well. I do think they're pretty stocked at safety, but still
a lot of injuries. And
great player.
Yeah, they were without Marlon Humphrey today too. So
yeah,
they're a little banged up over there.
A couple of injuries. I won't get on into all these, but just keep an eye on as far as fantasy wise. You might want to know. Deontay Johnson pulled a hamstring.
Yep.
As did Aaron Jones. Jacoby Myers left with a concussion.
Yeah, he got smacked.
He got smacked.
Who's
the guy from the guy who was on
Jacoby Johnson Coleman, right?
Yeah, let me say who it was so people know who we're talking about.
Yeah.
He was on the Rams and he definitely pass interfered with the guy in the Saints
about 3 seconds early, like an obvious 3 seconds,
and then just showed no remorse and said, "First of all, I smacked his ass with a frying pan."
Like a Waffle House frying pan. No, I flipped his ass like a Waffle House frying pan.
All-time quote. Anyway, sorry. Jacoby Myers.
That's not to make light of this. No.
Anthony Richardson has a pretty deep knee bruise. I think he was seen on crutches.
Yeah, this sucks. For his first game, and he's getting hurt. Now you're like, oh, should we?
He had like 10 carries, and he was throwing his weight around out there. We were watching him, and we saw one where he got his bell rung.
Yeah,
and we're thinking,
hey, buddy,
my guy.
We're not. What do we say?
That was a backup safety.
We're not playing Virginia Tech anymore.
Yeah,
these are the big boys.
Did you see Trevor Lawrence after they caught their conversation?
I did not.
And he said, "Good job, but you got to protect yourself."
Yeah.
So
Trevor knows.
He looked really good, but he won't last like that.
Protect yourself, man. You're not invincible.
I don't care how big you are. You will not last like that. And then Greg Dulcich, I just see leg. What happened to him?
Oh, from the spot? I don't know.
Yeah.
I know he was immediately ruled out. So
yeah, not good.
Not good.
Okay, let's get into some contract stuff here. Real quick, and just because I love the big hogs up front, I'll mention this one. Cesar Ruiz, the lineman, I think he's a guard. From the Saints. He signed a 4-year deal worth $46 million, former first-round pick. Good for you, bud. Justin Jefferson, all-pro receiver for the Vikings, wants to sign a new contract, but did not get it done before game one.
Yeah.
And when asked about it, he said, it's up to them. So keep an eye on it. I don't think it'll be a thing. It shouldn't be a thing. But we'll see. I have a whole list of quotes here. I want to get into that because I don't think it's a thing yet. So
no,
I just want to mention it. He didn't get a new contract before the season's up. They tried to do it. They couldn't agree on anything.
He still balled out today or yesterday.
Yeah, 9 catches, 150 yards, something like that. Bengals receiver. This is the other one you got to keep an eye on. T. Higgins. And the team are not close on a contract extension and never were, a source tells Kelsey Conway. She also adds that unless something shocking happens in the next 24 hours, no long-term extension will be met before the start of the season. And I can tell you nothing was done before the start of the season. No. So he will play without an extension this year. Former second-round pick, has been very successful.
What doesn't help him is that he had 0 catches.
Not so much today.
Yep. So,
and then there's some reports coming out about him that he may not be in their plans. In fact, that was tweeted verbatim. Bengals receiver T. Higgins is not believed to be in the Bengals' future plans. The source tells Dov Kleiman. And I know he's a little loosey-goosey sometimes, but he has some good stuff. There's no word about a trade coming for Higgins at this time, but a possible tag-in trade could happen in the offseason. So he's not going anywhere this year. He's going to do this entire year, the entire run with the Bengals, and next offseason this will be a thing. I
imagine if they win one, they'll let him go. I I don't think you let him walk for nothing. So, yeah, you would trade him, but it's like, I want to see Chase and him together for the next 5-10 years. That'd be great, but.
Yeah, so the problem is you just signed Burrow to a record-setting contract.
Yes.
Right, the biggest contract ever for any player ever. Jamar Chase, who is your number one, is up for an extension next year, right after Jefferson's about to sign this thing. So you're about to spend a lot of money.
You got to pick and choose. And obviously, no offense to Higgins, you pick Chase.
Yeah, and go draft a receiver, someone cheap.
Just keep drafting.
What the Vikings did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so most likely he's going to move on here. There's a plethora of places we would like to see him go.
Pretty fun name to put on teams because he fits in everywhere.
Yeah. Speaking of receivers who are with the last year in their team, Mike Evans did not reach an extension before his self-imposed deadline, and he will play without an extension and most likely move on in the new league year next year. So same thing with him. We'd like to see him go. I think caught a touchdown today.
Yeah, he looked good.
Yeah, so final year there in Tampa Bay, and he's played his whole career there. He came in with Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, he was part of that crazy awesome team and with Manziel. But yeah, he's 7 seasons of 1,000 yards.
He's amazing.
We don't talk about him as one of the better receivers, but he's always been one of the better receivers. We just plays at Tampa Bay, and no one watched Tampa Bay games.
Yeah,
not anymore.
So moving on here, I was laying in bed at around 4 a.m. checking tweets, checking fantasy lineups.
As you do.
Dropping guys, picking up guys.
Yep.
And this tweet came through, and it was kind of interesting. Jonathan Taylor is reportedly healthy and able to pass a physical. Once he does, trade talks are expected to resume, and don't be surprised if it's with the Dolphins, per Ian Rappaport.
Well, I think he'll get traded. This is going to happen. There's too much smoke now.
Yeah, I think so.
He's just healthy.
I think you fantasy owners who stashed him are going to be nicely rewarded because I think he's going to play the majority of the season.
And teams that will trade for him have playoff aspirations. You're not going to, no name's not going to trade for him.
Yeah, whoever trades for him is going to pay him.
Yeah.
And thus going to have to use him.
Yeah. So, just put up with this couple weird, 3 weeks now.
And Dolphins, that's just such an obvious place. It's just such the obvious place.
I mean, their offense is already good, but to have balance when it gets cold, when you can't do all the fun stuff throwing it 50 yards down the field.
Yeah, when you got to go to Buffalo and play for the division.
Buffalo in December.
New York.
Yeah, exactly.
New England.
All
the division.
Any Northeast team.
Yeah. Okay. Also here, the 49ers. You see what they did early this morning? The sneaky little bastards.
They do everything.
The 49ers have created $11.78 million in cap space after restructuring the contract of Eric Armstead. These reports tease us so bad because we want to know, what are you doing with that money? What is it tagged for? Because the Niners are wheel and deal, man.
I'm trying to think who's out there.
Well, all the D linemen we talked about. Do the rich get richer?
I mean, Chris Jones there would be freaking phenomenal.
A receiver. That's a pretty complete team.
Yeah.
They smacked the Steelers today.
Yeah, they really did.
We'll get into that. But anyways, they have $41.5 million in cap space. $41.5 million in cap space. Easily the most in the league. And that's the advantage of having a 7th-round rookie as your starting quarterback.
You get to maneuver all these other guys around.
You just have a lot of space. So I love to just sit there and think, who would I put on their team?
Them and the Browns are like my favorite teams to put players on.
Yeah.
We're stacked rosters like that.
Yeah. It's just fun to get into. That's the news. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to get into breaking down these games and talking a little football.
Some good ones, man.
Be right back. Okay, week one's games are about wrapped up. We have one more tomorrow, a fantastic game, Jets and Bills. We already previewed it, but we'll touch it again at the end of this episode. First, we're gonna recap most of these games. We'll touch every game, but kind of focus on the bigger games here. Starting with Tampa Bay and Minnesota, the debut of Baker Mayfield, former number 1 overall pick, leading the Bucs.
I'm very proud of this Tampa Bay team.
They beat the freaking Vikings.
What? I mean, not pat my own back. I told you that they're not like gonna be some rollover. This defense is good, and Baker will he'll probably flame out at some point.
Right. But you didn't pick them to win, but that's not what you're saying. You're saying you said it was.
They're better than people think.
I thought it was gonna be a blowout. To be honest, I thought they're gonna just mop the floor with them, but didn't happen.
Yep.
It's kind of a weird game. There was some turnovers early. I don't know if you were watching, but Kirk Cousins had a couple of lost fumbles.
He just wanted to give it up. He wanted to make it dramatic, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
He also got popped a couple times, too.
Yes, he did. Baker Mayfield was not spectacular, but efficient, and he didn't throw any interceptions. So he was okay.
I was impressed with Baker. He just took what the defense gave him. He's kind of a gamer. You can up and down, but
yeah, Baker was okay. But really, what won this game for them is the defense played really well.
Yeah,
and they got after Cousins.
Yeah, which
often, and Jefferson had a big game, but really besides him, no one else really went off, and that's not going to work for the Vikings. They're going to need to be a little more balanced if they're going to be
I think
one of the best NFC teams.
You got to run the ball a little bit more effectively.
Yeah. And
that line isn't very good. I mean,
I thought it was better than this.
As good as the Bucs are, they're not an elite front. They're a good front, not an elite front. The NFC, you're gonna face the 49ers and the Eagles and the Cowboys. Those are elite fronts. You're gonna have to play better for this.
Yeah. We both go 0-1 there because we both picked the Vikings. And bummer. The Vikings take on the Philadelphia Eagles on Thursday Night Football this week.
Very fun matchup. Cannot wait. Fantasy wise and in real life.
Yeah, a little worried about what my Eagles look like today.
We'll get there.
Yeah. The next game is a game that we were so excited about. And although one of the teams showed up, it did not live up to expectations at all because the other team just didn't show up. I'm talking about the Niners and Steelers. Is that where you're at?
God, yeah. I had such high hopes for the Steelers, man. I mean, it's week 1. So, obviously.
I have a confession.
Confessions.
Just when I thought I said all I could say.
Let's go.
I've underestimated Brock Purdy.
No. To be fair, we gassed him up for an episode. Remember that? We talked about Purdy.
Yeah.
So.
He looked really good.
Just the team around him is so good.
Yeah.
It's so talented.
Yeah, but I don't want to. I want to stop saying that when I talk about Purdy.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Put some respect on his name.
I think he's good.
Yeah.
I think he's scrappy. I think he's smart. I think he excels at making snap decisions.
Yeah.
Which is going to go a long way with this offense.
Yeah.
McCaffrey was my sneaky pick for MVP and 22 carries, 152 yards, and a touchdown. Well on his way there.
Brandon Ayuk was a dog today.
We have been, listen, I will, because we've both been here with Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah.
We've both said he's the best receiver on this team.
Yep.
He's crazy underrated.
Yep.
And today he said, you know what, benched? I got you.
This is for you. Here's 8 catches for 129 yards and two TDs for you, buddy.
A beast.
He looks good.
He's fantastic.
He plays strong. He's fast. He's in and out of cuts well. He burned Patrick Peterson.
Yeah, they got up on them early. At half, they're up 20-7, and it really never.
It was just, let's get the game out of the way now.
Pittsburgh never scored again. Pickett, sophomore jump. Maybe we'll start next week.
Yeah, rough outing. Rough start. I mean, I know he's supposed to be good, but 49ers week 1. I'll back him up a little bit. I'll give him a little bit of time.
Yeah, tough way to start with the 49ers. Yeah. They look ready.
They look ready.
They look ready. I cannot wait. They're playing the Eagles this year. I cannot wait for that matchup. That's going to be fantastic. And they're gonna. I mean, they might be undefeated when they face the Eagles because I can't see this team losing very often.
They look good.
They look so good.
Bosa's not even in football shape yet.
Yeah, Bosa just came back, but God, they're just so good at every level.
Yeah, they have playmakers at every level.
They just come at you in waves, man. That linebacking core with Warner, and then I can never say his name.
Hufanga, whatever.
Hufanga.
Yeah,
he's so good, man. He's all over the place.
And then offensively, they just everywhere you look, playmaker, yak guy.
I feel like they finally have the right guy to. They have like a point guard at quarterback.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Just distribute where it needs to be. Yeah.
So in a sense, you're right when you say the weapons around him.
Yeah.
Because the guy, if he was throwing screens to Jalen Reagor instead of Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk, it would look different.
To give like a basketball analogy comparison, like Rajon Rondo with the Celtics.
Yeah.
He's good, but he played with a good team.
Right.
But yeah, something like that.
He just looks like the perfect fit there, and they're a real contender in the NFC.
Fun to watch, man.
And listen, I kind of gave you a little bit of crap because they're number 2 in your rankings, and I thought that was a little aggressive. But apparently you've been at Niners camp or something and seen Brock Purdy because they look like one of the best teams in the whole NFL, not just NFC.
They're going to be good this year. I can't wait to see them as they I mean, maybe they get better, which is crazy.
I mean, maybe the most impressive team we saw today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we had Mahomes lose. We had
The most
Cousins lose. Herbert lost, I think.
Normally, you don't see this week one. You don't see complete dominance. You see slow starts, kind of sluggish, kind of rusty. They were on it.
Yeah. So all my buddies out there in the Bay Area, enjoy this season, man. It's going to be a fun one with this crew.
Yeah.
You have quite the squad, and it should be a good one. Moving on to a game that we were very excited about and caught every second of, I think, the Dolphins taking on the Chargers, traveling to Inglewood there at SoFi. And this one was back and forth, and it was
a fantasy dream.
It was beautiful chaos.
You look up 50-yard pass, 30-yard pass. And let's take a victory lap real quick. Who did we tell you to draft way before anyone else did?
Tyreek.
That
doesn't make us amazing, but we were like saying, like, go to the mock draft, and we were both saying, like, listen, I take Jefferson and then I take Hill. I took Hill over McCaffrey. I took Hill over Jamar Chase. I took him over all those guys. And listen, he's well on his way to 2,000 yards. What was his stats say?
11 catches, 215 yards, and 2 TDs.
Jeez, and if that feels like not enough,
and one TD was the game freaking winner.
Yeah, he just feels like the most uncoverable man I've ever seen play football.
Will the Chiefs hold him back? Were the Chiefs like not?
Listen. I'm glad you brought this up because we need to talk about this. Tua and Tyreek, much better than Mahomes and Tyreek.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time can't get the best out of a receiver than Tua? He's a good quarterback. He's not going to be one of the best of all time.
He threw for 466 today, 3 touchdowns and an interception. Tua looked fantastic.
Confident.
He looked really good. Those karate classes have done wonders for him.
Those taekwondo stuff.
Good for you, bud.
Wax on, wax off, man.
Yep. Tua looks really good. He outplays Herbert really in every way. Herbert was okay, but Tua was just unstoppable with Hill, and he used Waddle, but he really spread it around. Braxton Berrios and all these, honestly, a couple of receivers I didn't even know. Like, I didn't even know existed. Like, he just spread it around. It was just an unstoppable offense, and gosh, props to him. They outlast the Chargers and beat them there, and
then like a fourth down, the Chargers tried to convert a fourth down, but that was just a fun game to watch. I hope you guys watched it. It was amazing. Go watch the highlights if you didn't.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of those games where it's like you knew it was going to be good. It's not surprise us.
Yeah.
Looking at the box score here, obviously Eckler looks really good, and even Joshua Kelly behind him almost rushed for 100 yards. That running game for the Dolphins could use a little boost. If you want to nitpick
we know a guy.
Yep, we know a guy who wants to be traded.
He's probably angry right now.
To the Dolphins.
Probably working out right now.
So the Dolphins go into L.A. and beat the Chargers, starting off 1-0. Strong start for them there. And tough start for the Chargers, but they'll bounce back.
Yeah, they'll be fine. I'm high on this team. They'll be just fine.
Moving on to Foxborough with Tom Brady in town in a Patriots 12 jersey. That was good. That got me a little. That got me.
Like, this was my childhood. Seeing this guy screaming around across Gillette, "Let's go!"
Is he aging all of a sudden? All of a sudden, he looks old to me.
I thought he had a little work done.
Yeah.
Yeah, got a little.
Maybe that's what's making me just.
And he's skinny now.
Yeah, he's pretty skinny too.
Because he doesn't need to put on weight anymore, and I could just be a regular guy if he can be.
Anyways, with Tom Brady in town, up in the box with Robert Kraft, the Eagles barely hang on for this one to the Patriots. And I want to talk about it. This is I don't want to say a bad win. It's a win. And last year, the Eagles had a similar win to start the season against the Lions, who ended up being a lot better than we thought they were going to be. I think the same thing's going to happen with these Patriots. They looked a lot better than I thought they'd be. Mac Jones was looking good.
With a real coordinator.
Throwing down the field just like he was screaming about last year.
Good for him, man.
And he was good at doing it. Threw for 316 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. He looked very good.
You just feel happy for him because he got so much crap last year for not being good. And now he's like, I'm still good.
Yeah, he spread it out to everyone. He looked really good. Yeah. Jalen Hurts. The Eagles were interesting here because they got off to a quick 16-0 lead.
Yeah.
And then...
It felt like last year. Like, oh, God, they're going to get up big and then going to just ride out the second half till the game's over.
Yeah, just kind of barely held. I mean, it's 16 in the first quarter and ended up with 25. That's not great.
No.
But they held on. They won. They figured it out. They have some questions on defense at the linebacker position. And honestly, the secondary was shaky at times today.
Yeah.
I thought Darius Slay looked pretty good, but as a whole, their secondary was kind of shaky. Mac Jones kind of carved him up a little bit. Interesting about this game, so many people ask, as an Eagle fan, people ask me about the backfield. Like, what should I do? Like,
I think I asked you this morning.
And Rashad Penny, healthy scratch.
You'll never know. Next week, it might be active and have the most carries in the backfield.
Kenny Gainwell, 14 carries, and I mean, besides Hurts, no one else had more than one carry.
Those two by committee. They're just not. That's not how this team's built.
Yeah, not a lot of DeAndre Swift here. People thought we were going to see a bunch of DeAndre Swift. He had one carry, he had one target, and pretty much wasn't a factor in this game.
Who knows what's going to happen next week?
Yeah. But yeah, Eagles win here in their road back to the Super Bowl.
You know what? It has to start somewhere.
They're going to have to play better than that if they're going to compete with the Niners. I'll say that.
Yeah. They'll probably have to be able to stop Mac Jones before they can stop a Brock Purdy.
Mm-hmm.
Mac Jones doesn't even have any amazing weapons.
Yeah.
He has okay tight ends, okay wideouts.
Yeah.
49ers have legit stuff, so.
Yeah, we should probably be touching fantasy here. Fantasy-wise, Ramondre was pretty inefficient, but he caught the ball a lot.
PPR, he saved you a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caught the ball a lot. I think he was their leading receiver, their second leading receiver.
Yeah.
No, they're tied for the leading receiver, 6 for 64. Pretty good. A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, going to be solid all year. And we've talked about the backfield. Zeke had 7 carries, 29 yards. Nothing to write home about.
No, he probably won't be a starter.
Mac Jones, I imagine, is not going to be on very many waiver wires.
Two quarterback leagues, he seems like a safe QB2.
Yeah, or a nice backup if you need someone back there.
He's not in the starter range yet.
I mean, already I'd take him over Baker Mayfield.
Really?
I think so. But how he looked today, he looked amazing today.
They could look good too.
Yeah, but come on.
Yeah, but come on.
No.
They could look good.
You're not taking Baker over Mac Jones, are you?
I play matchups with those two guys. I'm not going to argue with these guys.
Okay.
Even though I would have taken him against the Eagles, and he did well against the Eagles.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on here. Going to, I'm going to be quick with this one. The Titans and the Saints, the debut of Derek Carr, obviously, wasn't exactly what everyone thought. It wasn't the offensive fireworks that a lot were hoping for with Derek Carr coming to town. 305 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 reception, was just kind of okay. Olave had a good game, but
Tannehill needs to sit down.
Tannehill might be done.
3 picks.
Yeah, 3 picks, no touchdowns.
Didn't really look like he was confident. The arm strength was kind of kind of saw his age a little bit.
Yeah,
not athletically gifted as he used to be. He's not. I don't know. I mean, I know they drafted a guy this year and last year.
Right.
So
Derrick Henry not wildly effective either. I mean, the Saints always have a good defense.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll chalk it up to that. But
he had a couple. We got a screen pass or two that looked pretty solid.
Yeah, 15 for 63. I mean, that's okay.
Yeah.
And then, he caught the ball a couple times. DeAndre Hopkins, his debut, caught 7 for 65. Did not score a touchdown. This is not a very fun game to watch offensively. Just two teams kind of figuring it out. I would imagine the Titans look very different by the end of the year.
Yeah, they'll get it. They're just figuring out a lot of new pieces here. A lot of Burks was playing hurt. If you saw him run, he had like a little bit of a limp or gimp. Or
really? I didn't see that.
Tajay Spears looked pretty good. I think in the first half, he was had more touches than Derrick Henry.
He had I know he had a 17-yard run. He had 3 carries for 27 yards and then a couple catches.
Yeah, so he looked pretty solid.
He looks good, man. I'm hoping they give him a little bit more of the offense. But it's Derrick Henry, so
and then that defense with Vrabel is always going to be solid.
Right. Moving on here to the Cardinals and the Commanders very quickly. The Commanders win 20-16. Anything you want to say about this game?
Should have been this close. The right team won. Cardinals don't look completely, I guess, useless is the word. But
I mean, Dobbs for getting here 6 hours ago.
I think the report came out. He doesn't even know his teammates' names.
Yeah.
Him and Stafford should hook up and see if they can help out each other.
I mean, let's look at it real quick fantasy wise. Ertz was the leading receiver, 6 catches for 21 yards. Yuck.
Yuck. I mean, there's not really a fantasy standout in this game.
Yeah, Connor was supposed to be the guy just on volume alone, but
if Brian Robinson can catch touchdowns every week, his fantasy stock will go up, but that's not what he usually does.
Yeah. Even Jahan Dotson, not really that great of a game. These two teams might be a barren wasteland the entire year.
Or the Commanders just came in just thinking that, whatever, and then they kind of got woken up a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm glad they won because they needed to win. You pretty embarrassed you lose to the Cardinals this year.
Right.
But, yeah, that's not much to cover here.
And maybe the upset of the week, I think.
That would have been everywhere.
No, I'm talking about this one.
Oh, the
this next one.
Oh, sorry.
The Rams went into Seattle and beat the crap out of these Seattle Seahawks.
I think I forgot how much of a gamer Matthew Stafford is.
Yeah.
Remember, he was on a bad Lions team for his whole career. He's used to playing on bad teams.
I think we forgot, too, what kind of crazy SOB Puka Nakua is.
Yeah, we were reminded of that, for
What a
sure.
sick name.
Puka Nakua.
Puka Nakua.
Puka Nakua. Oh, Pookie Bear. We'll find something there. There's something there.
Yeah.
I'll dig around for it.
Cooper Cup. I know Matthew Berry calls him my little Cooper Cup.
Yeah. I'm not calling a 6'3" man my
Pookie.
Yeah.
Anyways, he had a great game. 10 catches, 119 yards. Good for you, bud.
Stop calling him Bud.
Sorry.
That's it.
Good for you, pal. Geno Smith looked like old Geno Smith here. 16 for 26, 112 yards. Yikes.
Yeah, that's not great. For someone who I was hyping up a lot in offseason and in fantasy, what the hell? This is a classic NFC West game.
I made a trade in my fantasy team, in my fantasy league.
Okay.
2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of banking on Cam Akers all offseason to be my guy at running back 2. He played terrible.
What?
He had 22 carries for 29 yards.
He scored one, right? I think he scored one, or
he scored a touchdown.
But
Kyron Williams had 15.
What
for
is that
52
per
and 2
carry?
touchdowns.
What'd you say?
It is 1.32 per carry.
I could do that. Could you average
I couldn't, and you couldn't either.
1 yard?
You couldn't do that. Stop.
I would just dive.
I saw you play in high school.
I could just dive for somebody. I think
you wouldn't make it back to the line of scrimmage.
Maybe you're right.
But yeah, he looked pretty bad. Kyron Williams looks like he might even take over that backfield. Yikes.
Just has a little more juice than Akers today.
Kenneth Walker looked pretty good. Zach Charbonnet only got 3 carries, so that's confusing. And
no, but I was impressed by Stafford. You just forget.
Yeah.
This guy's just a gamer. He'll play with whoever. He likes football.
Good for Stafford. Embarrassing loss for Seattle. Honestly, if you want to compete with the Niners, which we both thought they would, and they could still.
I have them in my AFC title game.
Yeah. I would say this about this week 1. I noticed a lot of divisional games.
Yes.
A lot of
a little bit low scoring,
physical, very comfortable, very familiar with each other.
A lot of fights, a lot of arguments,
a lot of upset type things because you're playing your neighbor.
You know these guys.
Yeah. So I wouldn't put too much into this week 1. I think we saw some things that
said it'll bounce back.
Surprised a lot of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Over now, and we're not going to spend a lot of time on this at all because they don't deserve our time. And I'm talking about the New York Football Giants. They suck.
They don't suck.
I'm sorry, that was strong.
They're not good today. On Sunday, they weren't good on Sunday.
You have to imagine the owner is thinking,
I just paid this freaking Daniel Jones guy a bunch of money.
Daniel
Jones was bitching all summer, and I paid him. What the hell?
They lost 40-0 to the Dallas Cowboys.
On prime time.
Dallas Cowboys, your number 10 team. They moving up? Maybe
we'll see on Wednesday. But Dallas Cowboys look just as good as the 49ers look. Cowboys look pretty good.
Yeah, Cowboys look really good. Dak looked solid. He didn't have to do much, so his numbers aren't that impressive.
Micah Parsons looked amazing.
Their defense looked very good.
Yes. Those corners, Parsons, the whole thing. Dan Quinn calling all the shots. Fantastic.
I follow a couple of Cowboy fan pages.
Oh, Super Bowl bound already?
I saw a couple of best defense in the league. Maybe they might be, but
might be. I mean, 49ers have a nice fight, but
really bad news for the Giants.
Yeah, this sucks. You paid Daniel Jones
40-0.
That's just
at home.
That's embarrassing. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
It's just embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's a team that's supposed to be in the playoff hunt. Supposed to be like trying to show this. Just last year they were good. Like this is just a one-hit wonder.
How long of a leash does Brian Dable get?
Long leash.
Yeah.
Because he kind of quote fixed Daniel Jones.
Did he?
That's what the word is. But today he sucked, dude. Daniel Jones just didn't.
Look at Daniel Jones. I ain't look at his numbers because I figured they're terrible. 15 for 28, 104 yards. Listen. I'm just going to sound off on something real quick.
Go ahead.
All offseason, I kept seeing these jokers compare this man to Jalen Hurts.
Wow.
He had similar rushing yards. They're the same player. They're basically the same guy.
He could rush too. He's an athlete.
Shut up. He's not.
Different type of athlete, stupid.
Yeah, last time we saw Daniel Jones, he lost by a very similar score to the Eagles. Now plays Dallas and lose 40-0. I don't want to hear it. Go win some games. Go draw it up again. Go work on something. Good to see Darren Waller, though.
I'll be a little positive. They'll bounce back, I think. I think they'll be a solid team.
Sure.
This was just embarrassing.
Moving on here to Atlanta. How are we doing on time? We're good. Moving on to Atlanta, the Panthers coming to town, and this was a game that we were pretty excited about, actually. It's kind of a sneaky, fun game. The debut of Bryce Young. He looked okay.
Did you see what his tight end did with his first touchdown pass?
Yeah, I want you to tell us about that.
So I think it was a play action, right? Mm-hmm. Tight end goes to the flat, right flat, throws it, touchdown. Crowd's pumping, everyone's amped. He just chucks the first touchdown pass at Bryce Young, number 1 overall pick, into the stands. Some guy holding a Coors Light just grabs it and then never give it back.
It was on a Coors Light?
I'm not going to say what.
Oh, I thought it was a Bud Light. Not a Coors Light. Okay.
I'm just.
As long as
I don't know what he was drinking. I assume it was a Coors Light.
Yeah. Well, did he catch the ball?
I'm making this up.
Okay.
I assume some guy, I was just catch the ball.
Then he probably wasn't having a.
And now he's going to, what I would do, like, all right, give me $1 million. You want it back, buddy?
Stop. You're going to do that to Bryce?
Yep. If I'm not a Panthers fan, like, yeah, here's $1 million is yours, buddy. If not, it's going in my in my man cave.
I don't think many people gave the Panthers a chance here. They were missing, I think Thielen and
No, Thielen played. Chark wasn't playing.
Chark did, yeah. Thielen played. He did not have a catch. Oh no, he had one. He had 2 catches for 12 yards. I think the Panthers got a little bit overhyped with these signings. People were talking about Thielen, Chark, and Hayden Hurst. Listen.
We talked about this too.
Thielen's an old man.
Like, there's a reason why these guys are free.
Yeah, Chark is not a 1 or a 2. He's a 3 at best.
And we've seen why he's on a team. He gets hurt.
And Hayden Hurst is a freaking idiot who throws the first touchdown pass of his rookie quarterback into the stands.
Yeah. So, we'll see.
Yeah.
Sanders look decent.
But let's talk about the Falcons here. And Bijan Robinson.
Electric, dude.
He's going to be fun.
And they're not even going to overload him.
You know what I like about him? He's shifty, but like even when he's like shifting and juking, everything's like power moves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everything is strong.
One cut.
Yeah.
But he's not more than one. He's more than one cut guy. But
no, he was making people miss it. That swing pass where you stopped on a dime, sent people flying, and then
scored,
worked his way into the end zone through a couple defenders. That was jeez.
They have some weapons, man. I'm not sure passing wise they're ever gonna get there because they just hate passing the ball.
Yeah.
But running the ball, they're gonna be pretty good.
Yeah, and they're good at it. I mean, Bijan Robinson only had 10 carries. He didn't score a touchdown on the ground. He scored a touchdown in the air. Tyler Algier had 15 carries, 75 yards, scored 2 touchdowns.
They're gonna keep both these guys healthy, and it's gonna be phenomenal.
We said before, both these guys are gonna have fantasy value. If you have Algier, play him every week. Play him because they're gonna run the ball.
They threw the ball 18 times today.
Yeah, and honestly, as long as Desmond Ridder is your quarterback, you don't need to throw one more pass.
No,
because I don't think London had a catch. I don't think Pitts did he have a catch? Let me check. Yeah, Pitts had 2 catches for 44 yards. This passing game, I mean, I feel bad for the owners who have held on to these guys in just hopes that they would turn it around.
When we talked about fantasy guys, when we were breaking teams down, I implored you guys, don't get Kyle Pitts.
Yep.
No, he's talented. No, he's 22 years old. No, he's young.
All those things are right.
What's a positive about Kyle Pitts besides that he's young, fantasy-wise?
Well, he's talented. He is good.
Okay.
But he just has really bad quarterback play.
He's in the worst system for his talent. A run-heavy ball.
Yeah.
A run-heavy game.
Even if they did have a good quarterback, it would still be very limited because Arthur Smith wants to run the ball.
They run the ball. They don't trust the quarterbacks to pass it, and he's a pass-catching tight end.
The thing about Arthur Smith is that as stubborn as he is, he's been decently successful.
Yeah.
So he's not going to lose a job anytime soon.
No. If he keeps winning, no.
So not a great outlook here for London and Pitts.
If you're holding on to it, maybe 18 attempts, 5 go your way for 80 yards and a touchdown, or 115. Oh, God.
Yeah. So you have to spread out 115 yards.
Amongst 2 Drake London
and that's if he only throws to those guys.
There's no dump offs.
Not to mention, Bijan Robinson's very good out of the backfield. Algier is capable.
Tough.
Yep. I wouldn't have these guys. Let's take a quick break. We're about halfway through here, and then when we get back, we will finish the rest of these games and preview tonight's game, Bills-Jets.
Oh, boy.
Be right back. Okay, we're back. A couple more games to what's that?
You tell me we're back.
My bad.
Okay, we're back.
Whatever. You threw your phone. You're not gonna get in trouble.
Just tossing it for the boss sees. Should probably close the phone real quick.
Moving on here, a couple more games we want to cover. These Cincinnati Bengals went to Cleveland.
Yikes.
And did not look good against the Browns. But I do want to say this Brown team is good.
Defensively.
That D-line.
They finally got someone who's not the same level, obviously, as Myles Garrett, but can have moments where he's the same level.
So Darius Smith looked very good early on.
Dalvin Tomlinson in the middle.
These cornerbacks were everywhere.
They weren't scared that Ja'Marr Chase and Higgins were on the other side.
Do you remember in which Batman movie is it where Batman, it's the Christopher Nolan ones, where he's at the shipping yard and they're shipping the drugs inside the teddy bears.
First one.
And he is just all over the place.
Yeah.
That was the Brown secondary today.
They couldn't even freaking breathe. Like, where are you? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Yeah, dude.
That's perfect.
This was phenomenal by the Bengals. The Browns.
Yeah.
Greg Newsome and Denzel Ward were on their asses, dude. You would see replays where they're catching the ball and then all of a sudden the hand comes in, pass deflection. They were great. The safeties played well too.
Ja'Marr Chase, 5 catches, 39 yards, did not score. And their number 2 there, T. Higgins, goose egg across the board.
Goose egg. That is insane. For a guy looking for a contract, it's not very good negotiating. Tactic.
And I don't know. Joe Burrow was 14-31 for 82 yards. Jesus.
They didn't play in the preseason. Remember, Burrow got hurt. He didn't play at all. This might be just rust.
They just had nothing going on.
I'm not panicked, really. It sucked to see. And fantasy-wise, if you started Chase or Burrow or Higgins, you're just like, what the hell?
You probably lost.
But
Because
still.
you spent first-round picks on Ja'Marr Chase, at least.
But still, like, are you panicked?
No.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the Bengals, they have this in their repertoire. They can look really bad.
Yeah.
And I think it's because if they get the wrong matchup with a good defensive line, they're in trouble. And while I'm not panicked, this is what we feared.
Yeah.
This offensive line is not good. And the AFC is not just stacked with quarterbacks, they're stacked with great defensive lines.
Yes.
Like they really are now.
Like what they saw.
What they saw, what they'll see from Baltimore, what they'll see in Pittsburgh.
They had no one for Myles Garrett.
Yeah,
Nobody.
No, he ran through them.
Yeah.
Darius Smith ran through them. They're in trouble if they can't figure out a way to protect Burrow. And last year they had the lowest win rate when it came to pass blocking.
Yep.
And
you saw it today. Oh yeah, they weren't very good.
Yeah.
You know who? Wild horse himself, Deshaun Watson.
How did his performance land on you? He was 16 for 29, 154 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and had a 67.3 rating.
I just feel like he was just being like, I got to make a big play every play. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Like I had to show I'm worthy, proving something almost.
Not a lot of rhythm to this offense yet.
No, it was so like.
A lot of run around, make a play, backyard football.
Yeah, I don't like
stuff.
that longevity-wise.
Yeah, Nick Chubb looks fantastic.
How
about that? Just give him the ball on first and second down.
Because even if they know what's coming, they can't stop it.
Yeah, he looks really good. He was also their leading receiver, which is, if fantasy-wise, if you have Nick Chubb, you probably have...
You probably league winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to make a Chubb joke.
You probably got Chubb on there, feeling chubby.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I
Either
ran
way.
out of gas on that one.
Either way. Also, if you're a Browns pass catcher owner, like, where the hell is Cooper? And Joe Cooper had 2 catches. Like, you want a little more from
Yeah. I mean, this is what we feared from last year. We thought we'd hoped that Deshaun would turn it around. I mean, because these weapons were. I mean, Cooper was a top 10 receiver with Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
And he just hasn't been the same since Deshaun Watson took over. Elijah Moore, he looks good. He just is not getting the ball in stride. He's not getting it on time.
They're too, like, tricky with him.
Yeah.
Just let him be a wideout. I mean, I understand he's a playmaker, but, like, don't overdo it.
Yeah, I think
him at a fullback
Stefanski is just too complicated right now.
Yeah. Let's dumb it down. This team is talented. You don't have to be so creative with it.
Yeah, big win here for the Browns, and tough loss for the Bengals. I am not panicking yet, although they are the way we thought they were when we say about the offensive line.
Yeah, I'm encouraged about the Browns, not panicked about the Bengals.
Let's talk. I'm going to let you take away this one away. The Las Vegas Raiders go to Denver and beat the Broncos 17-16.
I'm going to lead off with this. Devontae Adams continues to be one of the best wideouts in the league. He is unguardable.
I mean, 6 for 66.
Those were on third downs. I promise you.
Right.
I watched the whole game.
Just big catches.
Just when they need the most, no one could guard him.
Jacoby Myers looked good.
Myers looked good. He got smacked across the middle, but
Really?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Yeah,
Concussion,
he
huh?
got smacked.
Won't look very good next week.
Russell Wilson looked good. He looked controlled.
Yeah, he looked much better.
Yeah.
He's out to prove his doubters wrong. Faux show.
Shout out to Javonte Williams for coming back. Looked pretty healthy. Had a decent workload. 13 carries, a couple catches in there. Looked pretty good. They have a kicker problem. We have a kicker problem. They missed a field goal and an extra point. We lost by 1.
Ugh.
So fill in the blanks there.
That's not how to do it.
Nope. But if you're a Raider fan, you're encouraged. It seems talented on offense. They can move the ball.
Over to Baltimore, the Texans visit the Ravens, and this went about how we thought it would. The Texans just aren't ready for a team.
It's a mature team versus a up-and-coming team. It's just not going to match up well.
C.J. Stroud, I thought, looked pretty, okay. For playing the Ravens, game 1, he was 28 for 44. He doesn't need to throw the ball 44 times.
No. But you're down big. I guess they kind of have to.
Didn't have a turnover as far as I could see.
No, he played well. Just went against a very good team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson was okay, but really it was his defense that kind of overwhelmed the young quarterback. And
obviously the big loss of Dobbins. We want to see how they react to that.
Yeah. Dobbins goes down.
Yeah.
They lose Marcus Williams.
Mark Andrews surprisingly didn't play.
Right, he didn't play. So they need to get healthy. They need to figure out the running backs. They need to realign or
Tell you what, Zay Flowers is going to be a stud.
Yeah, I was going to say, really the only thing we need to talk about in this game is Zay Flowers. He's going to be so good.
He's he's fast, but he's powerful when he moves. It's not like some fast guy. We've seen it before.
Yeah,
like a Taylor Austin who's fast but not powerful. He's fast and powerful. I love this kid. He's phenomenal.
And he's right away the number 1, which is kind of surprising to me. I thought they would kind of force it to Odell a little more, maybe even try a little more with Bateman, but right away he's the number 1 receiver in that room, and looks like he deserves it.
It feels like it. It feels like you just watch it. You're like, yeah, this guy's the most talented out there.
They blow out the Texans 25-9. Moving on here to, this is a great game, the Jaguars and the Colts. Anthony Richardson played like a guy who played more than 12 games in college.
Like a top 5 pick.
He looked really good.
Encouraged.
He threw the ball well. 24 for 37, 223, and a touchdown, 1 interception. That's so much better than we thought. We thought he was going to be like a guy who wouldn't break 150 yards throwing.
Throw 55%.
If you can throw 1 touchdown and no interceptions, that's a great game type thing.
Yeah.
But he's a gamer.
Shout out to the coaching staff. They didn't put him in anything. He didn't spread the whole time.
No Jonathan Taylor.
He was able to see the field well. Yeah. I liked what I saw.
He was their leading rusher as well with Jonathan Taylor out and obviously their leading passer. Trevor Lawrence looked good, but obviously there's some room to improve here.
Yeah.
Who I want to talk about is my boy.
Looked fantastic.
The return of Calvin Ridley. He looked great.
Something to prove out there, man.
He looked good.
Like he's
like
mad.
Calvin Ridley.
Like he's mad that he hasn't been playing. Like he's pissed off.
8 catches, 101 yards, and a touchdown. Fantasy-wise, we told you to get him.
Yep,
we told you to do it. We also told you to get Lawrence. We think better days are ahead for him. He ran the ball a little bit. 7 carries today.
That's run the ball at all in fantasy is pretty good.
Maybe the biggest surprise to me was Michael Pittman.
The Pittman, yeah.
He looked very good. He
good
looked
chemistry
like
yeah.
Strong connection there with Richardson. He goes for 97 yards and a touchdown and is by far the leading receiver and someone you could probably count on. It makes sense. He's a big target.
Yeah.
Good route runner.
Good hands.
Great hands. Big, long guy.
Yeah.
So probably a very safe guy to throw to. Something I was surprised by on the Jaguar side was Christian Kirk basically disappeared.
Yeah, you wonder if this will even out or if it's just be so heavily. We've seen this happen before.
Yeah.
Elite players meet other elite players. Like, I'm just going to target you, man. Because why would I target anyone else? We work and we can win doing this.
Right.
Yeah.
I think he'll be better than what he did today, but
ETN looked good too.
Yeah, ETN looked very good.
Yeah.
He looked explosive. The Colts almost won this game. They were threatening.
Yeah, they're right there. I mean, the scoreboard won't, but like this team. If I'm the Colts fan, I'm very encouraged. We got a quarterback.
Yeah. We
need a freaking running back because we need to help out this guy and run the ball.
Actually, if you had Jonathan Taylor, this would be a game changer for this
would
team.
Be a good team.
Yeah. I would say, though, this is one of those games, one of those divisional games that I think the Colts are going to look a little better just because of how comfortable they are with the Jaguars. They're not afraid of the Jaguars, especially with, Jaguars haven't been some elite team the last couple years. So they're very comfortable playing them, very comfortable playing them even in Jacksonville.
These divisional teams, man,
Yeah, moving on here to one of the classic games with the classic franchises.
Is this the last one?
Is this the last one?
I think it
Let me
is.
see. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is. And then we'll preview Bills-Jets.
Yeah, last one.
Last one here, the Green Bay Packers. Oh, clicked the wrong thing here. The Green Bay Packers go to – no. Did they go to Chicago? Yeah. Go to Chicago, Soldier Field, and they do what the Packers do in Soldier Field.
And the Packers do what they do with their quarterbacks. Oh, he's actually pretty good.
Yeah, Jordan Love looked sharp. 15 for 27, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 123 rating.
With what?
Did they do it again?
With one good wideout and good play calling, a good running back. They might have done it again.
Watson wasn't even there.
He wasn't even there.
He's supposed to be like the best receiver. What's cool about him is he just spread it out. I mean, Romeo Doubs had 4 catches, 26 yards. Made 2 really good catches in the red zone for those 2 TDs, but I mean, 4 for 26 is by no means some alpha dog receiver.
He just he was comfortable. That's what Love. He was comfortable in the system, which is all you want.
I will say this Bears defense wasn't very good last year, and I was a little concerned, and so was Danny when we talked to him about the additions they made, maybe not taking them as far as people thought.
Yeah.
And with all the Bears hype, this was very deflating.
Yeah, it sucked to see Fields running for his life. The offensive line was not good.
Yeah.
And not a big high usage for DJ Moore. Your big, trade target.
Yeah, DJ Moore finishes, the 5th leading receiver.
That's got to change.
2 catches for 25 yards.
They need to force feed
on
him.
only 2 targets.
Yeah, that can happen. That's poor game planning.
Yeah, I think the rookie from Green Bay here was carted off the field. Did I see that? Jaden Reed.
No, he came back. He was cramps.
He's okay.
Yeah,
Get carted off for cramps
or something. He helped off. Dramatic. Not dramatic. Cramps suck, but
yeah.
I was a little worried when I saw it. But still, back to the Bears though. They need to manufacture plays to DJ Moore. That just needs to happen.
So the story of this season is going to be Fields, whether it's him bombing or him taking off.
Yeah.
What did you think of Fields today?
I don't like the game plan they gave for him.
Yeah.
I just don't like it. And the line needs to be addressed. The line's bad.
Yeah. I mean, they're doing some injuries.
Packers are all over him.
And yeah, this Packers defense is good.
They're good, man.
They've played together for a couple years now. Quay Walker looks pretty good. He had a pick 6 today.
And slowly they've acquired his first round talent on defense. They every year throw another first rounder on it.
Yep.
Vanessa, the first rounder, had a sack today.
He looked really good.
Yeah.
Let's have a moment of truth here.
Okay.
We laughed when they picked Vanessa because it was the most unsexy pick during the draft.
Yeah, we laughed at a Packer fan.
And, at a Packer fan.
Yes.
And we were wrong.
Yes. As of right now,
first-round pick.
as of right now, we were wrong.
He looks like a solid addition there with Rashawn Gary and all those boys there. The Packers look like they're much better at this point than the Bears.
Yeah, they're
Bears
much
gotta
further
figure out some
along.
things.
Yeah.
Bears today felt like a team that
had a lot of cool things, but didn't know where to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They almost felt like the Clippers.
Yeah, like, oh, we're cool, right? Okay, so how do we manage being cool?
And you're talented.
Yeah.
You just don't know how to win.
Yeah. And that actually comes by winning. You have to just start winning. And
yeah. I don't think Eberflus here has a very long leash if he can't turn this around.
No.
Although the GM Pace had said there's only year 2 of a 3-year rebuild. So maybe they give him 3 years.
I don't like Eberflus being the hand controlling the career of Justin Fields.
Yeah.
You know who our favorite coordinator, who we're gonna put here?
Ooh, Ben Johnson would be fantastic here.
He knows he could use DJ Moore the same way he's using.
We don't know if he's a head coach, to be fair. Like that kind of
Good offensive mind though.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Packers looked really good here. Packer fans very excited. And excited about Love. It's always cool to see your young quarterback step up in a big game. And we talked about how this was a bigger game for Jordan Love than Justin Fields because of what playing in Chicago means for the Green Bay quarterback.
Yeah. And he showed out.
Who he's following, the legacy, that uniform.
And by all accounts, the teammates love him.
Yeah, teammates love him. He played real. I mean, I wasn't even aware that he played that well.
He killed it today.
Like he looked very good, and
They might have done it again.
Did they?
You go from Favre to Rodgers to whatever this is. Like if it turns out to be even an average quarterback, like man, we've never had an issue with the quarterback.
That's crazy.
Only 2 championships in that time, but still,
Yeah.
like phenomenal for them. Good for Packer fans. Good for Jordan Love for being good, and being patient and waiting his turn, and now he's being rewarded for his patience.
Okay, let's get into this Monday night game. Okay, that's the recap. It was a good time.
Brought to you by nobody.
Brought to you by nobody.
Yep.
Call us if you want to sponsor.
Yep.
Okay, this seems like it could be the game of the week, although we've seen a lot of great games, great matchups.
Yes.
Bills, I believe they're hosting this game. The Jets going to them? I think so.
Let's see.
Can you check that? But anyways, Bills Jets on September 11th. No, I think it's in New York.
Yes.
Yeah, it's in New York. So the Bills will go to the Jets.
No. At Buffalo.
Oh, it's in Buffalo. Well, it's still in New York.
Yes. Either way.
Von Miller won't play, but pretty much everyone else will.
Looking forward to seeing this D-line against this Jets O-line. That's all I'm watching.
Because that's what you've been talking about. This, and it's without Von Miller, but that's what you've been talking about with the Jets. Can this O-line protect Rodgers?
Look what happened to the Bengals today.
Yeah.
Look what happened to the Bears today.
Yeah.
Different level. Your O-line is to take you as far as you need to go.
If I'm the Jets, I run the ball no less than 25 times.
You run the ball. You have Brees Hall. Are you medically clear to run? Yep. Okay. You're gonna get a lot of carries.
Yeah, and he's looked good by all
Dalvin Cook, your shoulder's fine, right? Yep. You're gonna get a lot of carries too.
Dalvin Cook, give Michael Carter some carries. He's pretty good too.
And if you think beyond Garrett Wilson, not a lot of like scary things behind it.
Okay, that's fair. I was gonna say I like Lazard, but not
like,
at all scary.
Not like Michael Hartman's on the field. We have to make sure we guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very good point because Garrett Wilson could be this guy just like Deontay Adams, where
he's the only thing
we don't need much else.
Just need him. He's so elite. Yeah.
Like Rodgers and Adams was.
Yeah.
Which is what Rodgers says is the case, but we'll see. That's a good point. There's really not a plethora of weapons here.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why every time receiver's available, it's mocked to go to.
I think they worked out Kenny Galladay.
They did.
Yeah.
They did because Corey Davis.
Making a call to Mike Evans here a little bit soon? Or?
I don't know. Someone. My boy Hunter Renfrow. Hashtag free Renfrow.
Yeah. But back to the Jets. Run the ball. Run the ball, play action.
Mm-hmm.
You'll win the game doing that.
Buffalo needs to
kind of this.
What I'm worried about with this Buffalo team is the original wild horse.
Yeah.
Getting a little carried away because this team will cause turnovers. I'm talking about the Jets.
Yeah.
Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, all those guys, that defensive line that comes to you at waves, multiple units, could cause some turnovers. And Josh Allen took a step back last year when it came to decision making and take care of the ball.
Yeah.
So that's how the Bills lose this game.
Turnovers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm picking the Bills.
I'm picking the Jets.
Okay. I'm picking the Bills just because this is kind of the same team. Not a lot of additions, like starting additions.
Yeah.
Kind of the same offensively, same O-line, kind of the same D-line, plus or minus rookies or whatever. But, yeah, the Bills, I think it's the Bills games to lose. The Jets are a new team. They need time to figure it out. They're a slow bake here.
I think it plays out like this. I honestly think Josh Allen is going to do what Josh Allen does and just try to be the hero, the everything. Yeah, throwing the ball, running the ball,
Lower shoulder, teabagging corners.
Jalen Ramsey.
It's a crazy clip.
Chucking the ball 60 yards downfield with some defender hanging on his shoulder.
Because he can.
And I think the Jets are so good that they're going to make him pay for all those things.
Yeah, it's a interesting, like a great defense that can pick the ball versus a guy who's like a little bit loosey-goosey with the ball.
I think this Jets offense is going to be underwhelming at first. I don't see them just lighting up the world.
Little slow to start.
It'll be slow, but I think this defense is going to shut down the Bills.
Why you suggest them run the ball. Because run the ball is so easily translatable from team to team.
Yeah.
Block him. He's run the ball behind you guys.
Dalvin Cook is great in the passing game.
Yeah.
So utilize him, especially.
Brees Hall's not bad in the passing game.
Brees Hall's good as well. So is Michael Carter. And so easy throws, high percentage throws, quick throws to mitigate the shortcomings there on that offensive line. And I think the Jets pull this one out.
What's your is it a high scoring game? Is it kind of a
No, I don't think it is. Not with I think the combination of a Jets offense that's not going to get going right away and a Bills offense that's going to struggle with the Jets defense. I think this game, I would go under 44 points combined.
Yeah.
So I'd bet the under on that. I'd say 24-20.
24-20.
Yeah. Relatively low scoring.
Okay.
Tough game.
Yeah, I'll say like 24-21.
Yeah.
Buffalo. It's going to be tight. It's going to be a good one.
It's gonna be a great game.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so much fun. So much star power.
There's gonna be a quarter where nothing happens. It's just defense. Where like it's boring. We're 3-and-out, long drive, 3-and-out, long drive.
Yeah. So
how many over under 8 mean looks from Rodgers to his wideouts?
I don't think he'll do that. This is Papa Rodgers. This is
I don't know.
This is ayahuasca Rodgers.
We'll see. Cause
think so?
He can get a little grumpy old man sometimes.
He can.
Yeah,
he can. But I think
we'll see.
I guess we'll see. Yeah. I'm so excited to see this.
This is a great weekend, like a top off to the weekend. Started off with a great game.
Oh yeah.
Lions Chiefs got a nice kind of meal. Now it's dessert. Now it's cherry on top time.
Yeah. That is tonight. Very excited about that, and we'll be very active on social media platforms. Make sure you're following us there. And I think let's live tweet this one.
Yeah.
We'll live tweet it. Follow us on X at Bench Show, and we'll be following. And maybe we'll even start doing some lives, halftime and stuff.
Maybe a little halftime live. Yeah. We'll see. Who knows?
Answer some questions, that kind of thing. That'd be fun. That's our show for today. Wednesday's show.
Updating my Heavenly 10.
Version 2.0 of Angels Heavenly 10. Very excited about that. Enjoy tonight's game. Stop by 818 Brewing. Grab a beer.
Yep.
Go Jets.
Go Bills.
See you Wednesday.